Y'all, so I was scrolling on Facebook and I saw a post where the 5 officers had beat Tyre Nichols. Have you guys seen that?
I think it's one of those situations like, who hasn't?
I don't know how to explain the way I feel about it, but I don't like this. Like, I don't like it.
Honestly, I haven't even delved into it yet, just because the headline was enough for me. I
haven't either. Like, I can't. I watched maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute of the video. I just can't. You know what I mean? But I feel like I don't even have to. The facts. This young man lost his life because of 5 grown-ass black men. What?
I go numb every time we talk about it. I'm over here like, I'm just so numb. And I'm tired and I'm numb.
That's the worst part. That we're numb to it now.
Yep.
We're numb to the death of a black person in America. We're numb to it. That's the worst part.
It hurts. It hurts. I just can't believe his mom's feelings. Like right now, I just couldn't believe like what they're going through. I can't believe witnesses. Like, you know that it's becoming the norm to see people die on the side of roads now, and just at any moment it can just happen where you're at now. It is just sad times. I'm so numb from it now. I'm hurt. I'm sick of it. That's why I told, because I was like, I'm not even going to watch it. I'm tired of it.
And then I feel like it's a double hit for our culture. This young black man lost his life.
Yep.
He was beaten and lost his life. And 5 black men are incarcerated. That's a double hit to the culture.
Lose.
Yes. And not even that. This happened, the incident happened January 7th. 3 days later, they're fired and charged. Whoa, that happened pretty fast. Wait.
Justice was just a knocking now, wasn't it?
To look it into, because that's what typically happens when it's officers. What's so
different? I feel like we know what's so different.
We know. Well, that's why
2 melanin in one place.
Yep. And that's why I was saying like a lose-lose. In my way, it's like I feel like a lose-lose to everything. And like you said, culturally, that's a bigger blanket to be like, we felt this in so many different directions. We could go so many different ways with this, and it all falls back on our culture. It really does. Systematically, I feel like black people shouldn't be police. That's me. And it's not because of that I should just, believe my sister, my brother, blah, blah. But if we're not even safe around our own brothers and sisters,
right?
Why are you even a police officer?
Right.
And I'm not saying let me see me doing something illegal and let me slide. I'm not saying that. I just think that if one of us are pulling someone over, they should know for a fact you're making it home. And if you cannot give me that feeling off of our melanin and understanding that we both have the same fear for our child, our nephew, or whatever in a different state that you can't even protect them in as a police officer in another state, I thought we could have that understanding that I would be able to at least be able to make it home. And if we can't even get that feeling of comfort, I'm just over it.
Because why join forces as a black person in America? Why join a career that is systematically proven to pull the black people down? I understand everyone has their hopes and dreams of becoming something. Want to join a career, and that's wonderful. But this career particularly has been shown to have a lot of a lot of offenses or a lot of targets to the Black community. Some people maybe go into that career with the mindset of, I'm going to change this. But one person alone can't do anything.
Nope.
Until we all get on that same mindset that we're going to change this together, I agree with you. I feel like as a Black person, maybe policing shouldn't be your career.
No.
Yeah.
And it was a special task force, to my understanding. It was a special task force, that was meant to go into, of course, these type of communities is what they said on the part that I seen. And we all know the type of communities we're talking about. And I think they were set up for failure to even think that they were going to go, and I don't know, they could have just been bad-spirited people. But to go into the Black community as Black people, and they have already, you guys, got rid of the task force. It's just so amazing to me that it reflects what we're saying. Going in as Black people, it was never meant to succeed. In my thoughts. It wasn't. Because they abolished this task force so quick. But when they were screaming, defund the police, it was a big problem. It was, it was a major problem. And it's like, how did you guys see that this was an issue so quick, but the other is not? It's not flawed at all, but they've been killing people since. I just think it was something that was meant to not succeed, and it did exactly what it was intended to do.
Or, in other words, this was the mission. Yeah. Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for his family, unfortunately for the Black community, this was the mission. Bingo.
I think so. This was the mission altogether. And it's like, why not use their own hands? People that were going to have intel. Yes.
They don't have to.
Yes.
They don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to continue to paint this picture that Black on Black crime is a thing.
Absolutely.
We're going to continue to paint this picture that Black.
It's definitely a thing.
Yep.
Now, I mean, like, look what's all over. What?
Yes. Yep. What? You guys, I was watching a podcast. Shannon, is a football player. I don't know if you guys know him, but he has a podcast and he was talking to a comedian, and the comedian had just so happened had an incident where he was jogging, and he said that his watch had told him stop jogging, and he stopped. He said, I just had just walked, and started walking. And he said he just so happened ran into a situation where cops were involved, and he's seen a helicopter, and now he's a suspect. Like that.
Tell the story. I got wrongfully detained by the LAPD. I was just running, man. I was exercising during the pandemic, trying to keep my hips off.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So I'm running down Ventura. I got my Bose headphones on, noise canceling. And, I'm running at first, Shannon. I'm running. And the app said, slow down, walk. That was literally God talking to me.
Right.
So when I got to that next block over, a helicopter flew over my head. I was like, I didn't turn on the PlayStation. How did I get in Grand Theft Auto? I don't know how I got here. The police officer, he's got his gun out. He's to the left of me. He's like, freeze. I'm thinking he's talking to somebody else. I said, oh, snap. Maybe I should get my phone because I need to record this. He was like, you get on the ground. I was like, me? Jay Farrell? I was like, hold up, Jared Farrell? That's my real name.
Yeah.
I said, Jared Farrell? Like, what? I said, all right. And as soon as I get down on the ground to comply to the officer, as I'm getting on the ground, 3 more officers are coming up with their guns. Now it's 4 officers with their guns. I get down on the ground to comply. I'm in handcuffs. I'm like, yo, what's the meaning of this? They're like, you match the description of a Black man in sweatpants and sweatshirt. I said, oh, really? So anynigga.com, that's what you mean, right? Right? I said, man, if you look up Jay Farrell, you see that you're making a big mistake. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I know they came back and they said, you're not the guy. We can let you go. And I said, I've been trying to tell you that I'm not the guy.
Right.
And they say, hey, man, what can, hey, sorry, whatever.
But just like that, being Black and running.
It's so dangerous.
And he was like, the only description, of course, they gave was sweatpants and hoodie. He said, so that's every nigga in outside right now. And it was just like, I don't know if the police officers were black, why I can't remember, what he said, but it's just the unsettling feeling we have all have experienced, with police in general, that again, back to my first statements of, it's unfortunate that this black man couldn't at least feel more comfortable, or it had to plan out in this way by the hands of our people. And you guys know more than anybody, our people be the hardest on each other. On each other. It's time and time again we've seen it, and it's so hurtful. We're the hardest on each other. We can't even make each other feel comfortable in a setting where it's like, you should have signed up to be a cop to help that situation.
Right.
I would have expected a young man, let me talk to you,
right.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk. Let's calm down. Everybody calm down. Let's talk. Let's figure it out. Let me look after you, but let me do my job, because that's what I have to do. I have to do my job.
Yes.
But let's talk, young man, brother, nephew, cousin.
Or just as a human being.
But just as a human being.
Oh my
as a part of humanity.
What are jails and prisons for if you don't even make it to them anymore? I much rather my son, I manifest that my son would never have to experience either. But I just would hope that at least justice, he would get that. If he would at least make it to the jail to fight his case or something.
Yeah.
But what's the point if they're not even making it? We're not even making it these days to get justice. And it gives very systematic, planned.
Very much so.
Because if you don't make it to jail,
honey, that'd be the best bet, honey. I hope the handcuffs stay on me. I hope I feel the jail cell. Because if I don't, I'm not going to feel anything.
Man, I want to make it home. Ooh, can I make it to jail?
Tanya Bland she did, but she didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that was in Texas where I'm at, that right. She didn't, and I think we need to just continue to have the conversation.
Yeah.
To our youth, to anyone, keep having conversations to ourselves, because don't ever let life get so busy or whatever that we forget that walking down the sidewalk, to still be alert, to still, it's sad, right. But it's like, that's our life still. That's still our reality, unfortunately.
Yeah. Ooh, y'all, this was a heavy hitter.
It was.
We have to talk about it. It was just so heavy on my heart. I'm like, we got to talk about this.
Yes. It's so unfortunate and sad. Like I told you guys off camera, it's just like, it's not even the next or most recent. It's the most recent now, but killing of a black male has happened since George Floyd. It just wasn't blown up. And and this time they went the yard of beating someone to death. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was, to catch our attention again. And that's just so sad that it's like, we're regularly living this life now.
There's a new term that has been orchestrated for this type of experience. When you, as a black person, experience or view someone else's life in danger, and you feel like that could be your person, your friend, your cousin, your brother, therefore you are scared and you act the same. Like when everyone tried to push, well, why don't you just stop resisting? Because I know what happened to George Floyd.
Yes.
Because I know what happened to Tyre Nichols.
Yeah.
That's why I'm scared.
That's
why. I don't know if I can trust you, because he could have trusted that police officer. But look what happened.
Yeah.
And then at this point, it's just so frequently, by the time I see the lights, I'm scared. What do I do? Who do I call? Do I turn my camera on? Do I go live? Like, what am I doing? What do I need to do in this moment? Because I know I feel like this could be my very last moment. Because I saw lights.
Or like she said, non-compliance can kill you still. Like,
resistance, not complying.
Yes. And complying could get you killed. Like, in this way, it's just like,
it's a scary situation.
That's why I said, like, it's a lose-lose-lose. It's like,
yes.
Sometimes it is, and it feels like that.
I remember not to equate my situation at all to this situation at all, because it is not the same. But I remember getting pulled over on the interstate. I was going to my best friend's house, and apparently I was speeding. But when I got pulled over, my heart dropped.
Yes.
Like I said, this could be my last moment. I remember, and I was so embarrassed at the time because of how I felt and how I reacted. I reacted calmly, but I started singing like a canary. He said, "I see you have a sticker on your back bumper from LaGrange College." I started talking about my major, what I want to do.
Ooh, yeah.
Anything I could to seem as a human to this man, so that he did not get any red flags from me.
That's
my hands
crazy.
were on the steering wheel. I was so embarrassed that I felt like because I was speeding, I had to define my whole life.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not so detached, girl, because they say if you were ever kidnapped or anything, start saying stuff that makes people feel like you're a human, I can't take your life, or I gotta let you go. So that I get it. It's like,
but because I got pulled over, I had to resort to hostage tactics. Because I am a black woman and got pulled over, I had to sing for my life to make sure that this man was not threatened by me, although he is supposed to protect me.
Ooh.
Girl.
Right, man, I started singing loud, honey. He was like,
when you said sing, I can't help it. I laughed. But, like, in the seriousness of it, I'm so fucking scared that I'm singing.
Right.
That's how terrified. I'm scared. I'm terrified. I don't know. Like, ugh.
I don't know.
We don't know.
The weight behind that.
Yeah.
And you couldn't understand that unless you were a person of color. I'm sorry, but you cannot.
You cannot.
But you can certainly still help by trying to understand.
There's always things that everyone can be doing to try to get the community better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's stuff that can be done.
One of the biggest things, in my opinion, is like we're doing now, having the conversation. Bringing awareness to it.
Keep having them. We got to.
Once you start having conversations, that's going to get people's wheels turning. They're going to be thinking. They're going to be, oh my goodness, this is real life for most people. I wasn't aware of that. Now, what can I do?
Yeah.
Right.
Who is going to reach after you've had the conversation? Someone that maybe can do something. Someone who has some backing, because this cannot continue to be the life that we're living, that we're raising children in. Now when we're raising our children, we have to say, if you see a police officer and you're walking down the street, this is what you do. Why? Why can't we just walk past a police officer? Just walk past a police officer. We have to be on guard, walking past a person who's supposed to protect us from the actual bad people.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I was driving Uber last weekend, and a woman, maybe her skin was a little more fair than mine. You could tell she was a person of color, and she was with a Caucasian woman. They got in the car, and they were having a conversation of how she was telling her 6-year-old son, like, how, like, they have to have this conversation. And she said, and if you look at him, he looks white.
Oh, yeah.
And what's crazy is, we're just talking, and in the midst of it, I'm like, well, what's the texture of his hair? Because his skin, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that we're even have to think this,
right.
Okay, like, he appears like a Caucasian man. Okay, but is his hair too curly? Because that's a dead giveaway. You know what I mean? Like, and we're naturally, like, these are the thoughts that we're coming to, and it blew my mind.
I remember having the conversation with my son, and it's funny because it was in a car. It wasn't with other people, but it was just us, and I just couldn't help but cry. Because why do I have to tell you this?
Why?
Why did I miss a step? Did I, will that even get you home? Is that enough?
Right.
It's
and then as a parent, you're like, I'm supposed to be your supreme protector.
Right.
But I can't.
I can't
protect you. That has to be the worst feeling in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell people now, like, they ask me so much, why haven't you had more kids? Okay, are y'all gonna have kids and stuff like that? And I just tell them I'm intentional now, with everything that I do. I'm actually more mature now. I'm not 16 when I had my first kid anymore. I would like to think that everyone gets to my age and starts to consider that, but I just tell them it's deeper than that. And these are my sentiments, you know, and I might not tell them every time why deeply, you know.
Right.
But this is why, because things like this.
Because being a black person in America is hard.
Extremely.
Okay, y'all, so today was a heavy hitter, but I'm so glad that we were able to sit down and have a conversation.
Yes.
I think it's a beautiful thing, though, that we are comfortable enough to do so. And I really do hope that this video just puts, you know, our perspective out there. Like, see the world through our eyes, because this is a normal life for majority people.
Yeah. And I think that people of color or not need to hear this and need to have this conversation, because a lot of the times when I have those conversations, I'll be on Facebook, y'all, and get in the conversation, the comment section, you know, like, and I'll see that a lot of people are just ignorant. A lot of people really don't know and are willing to know. Oh my goodness, I didn't know you guys felt like this. I didn't know that you have to walk through life like, seriously, you know, I've had conversations plenty of times with people, and that's what it is. You know, so this is, I really hope that anyone at home feel comfortable to have this conversation and to hear that this is our perspective, like you were saying. And these are our experiences, regardless. Yeah. These are our stories and what we've actually been through ourselves.
Right.
And you know what? I'm grateful that we have the platform to do so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's a blessing. Y'all, so with that being said, we are checking out.